Boxing Guru here, and I'm back with another great video. Nicholas the Axeman Walters versus Vasyl High-Tech Lomachenko. Who wins this? You know, this is a very, very close fight to call. It's tough for me to call. You know, based on styles, I want to go for Vasyl because, you know, he's a more complete fighter. But based on resumes and accomplishments, I think Walters has the edge on that, you know. I'm going to break it down for you, and so you guys will understand where I'm coming from. You know, Nicholas Walters is more of a boxer puncher, more of a counter puncher type of fighter. He relies on punches being thrown at him, as you see right here. You know, he's not that much of a pressure fighter per se. He's very good at counter punching. He has very strong, powerful punches. The man hits hard. I mean, no doubt about it. He hits hard. Long reach. You know, he has advantages in reach, strength, power, you know, size, all of the above, other than speed and ring IQ. You know, other than that, I think Lomachenko may have that, but other than that, Walters has a big edge on this fight. But one thing, as I mentioned earlier, Walters isn't really very offensively sound. He's kind of careless when he comes forward, as you saw right there. He was coming forward with his hands down right there. You know, he has his guy hurt, but at the same time, that's the way he comes forward. Kind of like Keith Thurman, you know. The way he comes forward, his demeanor with his hands down, you know, just confident, you know, which is good and bad. You know, it's bad if you're facing an experienced fighter and a very smart fighter like Lomachenko. You know, I know Lomachenko only has like 7 or 8 fights, but in the same breath, you know, he's an Olympian with over 200 fights, you know. I don't know how much amateur fights he has, but I know it's a lot, and I know he was pretty good in the amateurs. So, I'm going to break this down. I'm gonna pick Lomachenko, but I'm going to explain to you why. I mean, Lomachenko is a complete fighter all around. I mean, as you saw right there, he's imposing his attack, and he's, you know, anticipating your attack to counter your counterattack. Look, he was anticipating him coming back with something after he stepped back. He came back, and he attacked on his counterattack. So that's just something that's hard. It takes a lot to be somebody like that, you know. He's so offensively sound, so defensively sound. It's just crazy how much skill this guy has, you know. And I know his resume doesn't really show it, but look at this guy constantly throwing bunches and punches. You know, the guy's a genius in there, man. The guy's a boxing wizard up in the ring, man. And you can't go against somebody like that. You know, a fight only takes one punch. Nicholas Walters does have the power to put down Lomachenko, but I don't think he's fast enough to land a clean, effective punch that way. All in all, like I said, the guy depends too much on the other fighter's offense. As you see right here, he's waiting. He's waiting on him to throw a punch, and then he'll counter his punch. But see, this guy he's fighting is nothing compared to Lomachenko. I mean, Lomachenko's way faster than that, and he doesn't just throw a right hand. I mean, he sets it up. He uses feints. You know, he sticks his hand out there and make it seem like he's going to throw another hand and comes back with a different hand. And you see the guy right there uses angles, but he didn't capitalize on it. Lomachenko would have capitalized all night on that. I think Lomachenko's going to be turning him all night, turning him and using his angles. Right there, he would have did it again. He would have turned him, used his angles, and threw some punches, landed punches, and he would have he's going to outpoint Nicholas Walters. I mean, I feel like Lomachenko is going to win by either unanimous decision or majority decision. It is going to be a close fight. I think Nicholas Walters is going to have some spots in there. He is going to hurt Lomachenko a couple of times with some hooks or with some right hands, and he might even drop Lomachenko. But I think Lomachenko has enough experience and enough heart and ring IQ to be able to get back from that and win, you know, in a dominant fashion, because the guy's just faster than him. The guy has a higher output than him, and the guy's just a better offensively and defense. He's an overall more complete fighter than Nicholas Walters. You know, no offense to anybody. Please, I don't want any hate comments or anything like that. You know, as you see right there, though, like I said, Nicholas Walters does have the power to knock out Lomachenko. This is a close fight to call. I'm not going to rely on a knockout, though. I'm going to rely on a sure thing, because a knockout is never a sure thing. And I'm going to pick Lomachenko to pull it off by unanimous or majority decision. I mean, look at this fight, for example. I think this was Nonito Donaire. He throws one punch, 2 punches at a time. You know, that's not a way to beat Lomachenko. I think with Lomachenko, you gotta brawl that guy. You gotta go in there and dog him. You know, you gotta dog him out. You gotta completely be on him all times, not giving him any time to think and breathe up in the ring. And you know, I think that's key. That's key from Walters to win, which I don't think he'll be able to do, because I think, you know, Lomachenko is a far more superior fighter. And I think come this weekend, we'll see Lomachenko outbox Nicholas Walters. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I support a lot of African American fighters. I mean, I know this guy's African American, but people of color. But I'm a boxing fan. I'm a realist. I'm gonna keep it the way I see it. I mean, there's a possibility Walters could just blow this guy out the water because he doesn't have enough experience in the pro level. That's why this is a hard, tough fight to call. And if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna be afraid to admit it. There's Walters does have a chance, and this is why this fight is interesting. It's not by any means, it's not a easy fight for any of these fighters. In my respect for both of them for taking this fight and for not ducking each other. Another thing I want to talk about, I don't know how good Nicholas Walters' training camp was. I mean, he had to lose a lot of weight, and I don't know how he will be affected. Will he be weight drained? Who knows what's going to happen on fight night? And I think overall Walters, has a great chance, to knock him out. I think, Lomachenko has a better chance, though, because of his boxing abilities and his speed, his agility. And, the dude has great offensive skills, too. Like I said, he sets things up. He does this thing where he pulls your glove down to land a check hook. I mean, I know that's not that effective as far as, like, hurting him, but, it gets in their head, and it also helps them, set up an explosive combination that wins him points, and, it could possibly win him rounds that way. So, as I said, I'm picking Lomachenko by unanimous and majority decision. This is Boxing Guru. Please take the time to subscribe. I'm out.